The claim, as I understand it, and no one's challenged me on this yet, Maunakea, is that any digging into the mountain is a cultural injury or religious injury. Any intrusion into the air column above Maunakea is a cultural injury. And I thought, just trying to use some logic and looking at the history of Hawaiians and the things that they did in managing natural resources, changing entire landscapes, fish ponds, moving coastlines around, terracing entire mountainsides for food production, accessing mountains, looking at Mauna Kea itself and the most prominent what do you call it for ants is what's the word? Ants quarry. The most prominent rock ants quarry in Polynesia, 7.5 miles vertical, and it circles the entire mountain. So this Mauna Kea claim about this cultural injury to the airspace just did not seem right to me, and I couldn't find any information that really was able to validate. So I decided to sort of commission a research project kind of on my own, and made a circle of 12, 13 of the leading scholars in that area. And one of the things that puzzled me is, normally in all the major clashes that we've had in cultural conflicts with public policy in Hawaii, the scholars community had always participated. With the TNT, there was this tremendous silence, and no one was speaking out. And I said, wait a minute, there's something wrong. Why aren't the scholars here? Why aren't to help shed some light? And so I did this research project. So long story short, the claim could not be validated. Cultural validation is done in 3 ways. You have to validate it either by archaeology, by oral tradition sources, Kumilipo or whatnot, or through the present-day scholars. And the litmus test is that there has to be a historical basis for that belief system or the practice, and you have to show that it was exercised in the past, and you have to have a pattern of frequency. None of that was present, at least in my foray into the research. So I began to get a little bit upset because, to me, I think it's important that Hawaiians have to stand up with cultural dignity. We have to stand up and be able to validate what our belief system is. And in the absence of a priesthood, in the absence of any kind of clergy, in the absence of any center of gravity on who stands in judgment on what is religiously sacred or not, is absent. So I think it behooves us to be able to do everything we can to validate a claim either for or against a specific practice. I'm continuing. I'm not done yet. I'm still trying to figure all of this out. But so far, I have not been able to validate this Maunakea claim. And if, again, looking at the native wisdom and the behavior of natives in search of that knowledge, the TNT to me represents probably the greatest opportunity, cultural opportunity, religious opportunity, that we will ever have to do the one thing that is at the center of every cultural movement, that is search for the ancestors. Our story of creation begins with the night of Po, with the darkness. And I'm assuming that at some point in time, through projects like the TNT, that we'll be able to actually go back and find the night of darkness. I can't think of anything that is more sacred than that in Hawaii.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate your courageousness.